weekend. If you, like myself, were traveling, you witnessed it. Record numbers of people in the air, travel disruptions that are continuing to delay and stall vacationers. It's 7 a.m. on the East Coast and already more than 200 flight cancellations today. Since Friday, there have been 2,800 or more flights that have been canceled. The airline industry is still dealing with staffing shortages, unscheduled absences, a travel surge, and severe storms. We want to get a check-in with Dre Clark. He's live at New York's LaGuardia Airport with a closer look at the travel mess. Dre?
Adrienne, good morning. LaGuardia here in New York is one of the airports where the line seemingly stretched a mile long, with frustrated passengers standing in line for hours. Travel experts say, yes, the weather did play a part in the cancellations and delays, but they also say the airlines totally underestimated just how many Americans would return to flying this summer, and they don't have the staff to handle the demand.
As summer sets in, millions of Americans are scheduled for takeoff, but it may not be on time.
This is unacceptable. We booked these flights a month and a half ago.
Thousands of flights were canceled and delayed during the Juneteenth and Father's Day weekend. But the problem started last Thursday when more than 1,700 flights were canceled. According to FlightAware, which tracks domestic and international flights, Friday more than 1,100 flights were canceled within, into, and leaving the U.S. More than 6,000 flights were delayed Saturday and close to 900 canceled. And Sunday, there were almost 6,000 delays with more than 900 cancellations.
We're going to be out there drudging along with our passengers with canceled flights, delayed flights.
Bad weather has caused a lot of delays, but pilot and staff shortages also play a part. The airlines trimming services and cutting routes because they don't have the staffing.
But the core of that is a management team at American and at other carriers that have failed to plan properly.
Pilots with Delta Airlines penning an open letter to passengers saying, "We empathize in sharing your frustration over the delays, cancellations, and disrupted travel plans you've experienced. We agree it is unacceptable." Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg warning airlines to make changes immediately. Buttigieg says he was forced to drive from D.C. to New York last week after his flight was canceled. He says he'll wait to see how the airlines perform over the 4th of July holiday weekend before considering enforcement actions that could lead to fines. Passengers hope his warnings work.
It is just really frustrating, because I was so looking forward to this trip, and now we're just getting stuck.
One other very important note to pass along here this morning is that according to the Department of Transportation, whenever an airline cancels your flight, they are required to book you on the next flight out to your destination if they have space. Now, if that doesn't work, the airline is required to give you a refund, even if your ticket is non-refundable. You know, Adrienne, right now, this would be a really good time for people to really start reading the fine print on their tickets with all of these changes and cancellations and delays that are happening with these various airlines.
Yeah, Dre, people are becoming more and more skeptical, too, of the airline's response and explanation for all this. I was on a flight this weekend, and the gentleman next to me, after the pilot said we are a little delayed getting to the gate, said, yes, we are an invisible flight that no one knew was coming in. What do you make of the airline's defense that this surge wasn't expected?
It doesn't make sense to most people. It just doesn't make sense. The airlines have a system in place. When you buy your ticket, your name is put on a manifest. They'll know how many people are on the flight. So the idea that the flight is overbooked or oversold, it doesn't make sense to people, and that's part of the frustration. It's almost as if the airlines are saying, let's take their money up front, and then we'll figure it out on the back end. And quite frankly, that's not fair.
Well, it's just not sustainable. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.